Oh, you missed the best part. I was picking on Carl.
All right. So fair enough. So where we left off last time, you guys were back at the city of Ascariath. That is part of the elves of Durala. They're the Thorn King elves. It's a port city there. You had returned back to uh, speak with the person who had given you your original mission and discovered that, in fact, her place had been raided and burned down. But on the plus side, she did leave behind for you the magic item that she said she was going to repair. She did repair it and gave you the code word. So that means that the various magic items that you were given to return to her are now in your care, and that you have a magical boat, a vessel that can travel with great speed. So let's go down, run really quick again through the outstanding hooks. Again, you have that packet of information which you were given at the tower that was supposed to be delivered to Lady Naisune. She had wanted to follow up on that, and you had the sense that she might have asked you about following up on that thing. You have a letter of introduction to the High Wizard Palak Karodin. He was the person who actually sort of oversees Bolt Strike Tower that you saved and several other magical sites. You can expect that you'll receive some kind of modest reward from him if you go to see him. As you may recall, he crusades against the Siren, and you have where he's at. And the other thing was that your sort of quick investigation, Scott was able to figure out probably who was involved with the raiding on Lady Naisune's house, a half-orc, half-elf named Galdana, who's associated with the Crowsworn Pirate, and have an idea of where, if they did this, where they might have fallen back to. So you have sort of 3 hooks here. You also have the chance to look around and investigate if you want, or talk to people, or what do you want to do. For the moment, I'm going to assume that you guys are at an inn. You've got the modest coin that you received from Lady Naisune. You got the various items. So you can talk about how you guys wish to proceed.
I'd like to see a menu.
I stay far away from the wizard in the corner.
You're probably the only people in there during the day. You are adventure murder hobos. So primarily people
Murder
kind of
it,
clear away.
kill.
So what do you guys
and,
think? Yes.
What's this?
Well, while he's disparaging us, I'd like to point out that like the kind of boils I had on my face, blisters, have gotten slightly worse since we left.
Okay.
That's why I'm sitting at a different
A
table.
little less appealing and a little more sickly and gross looking than I was.
So can you tell me about the?
Let's keep this in game, Matt. Okay.
Tell me about the Tornstall. Did we have that, or was the object that was?
So here is what you know about that. And so I'm going to kind of go back, and if this were a movie, we would flash back, or if a TV show, we would flash back to a previous episode where Lady Naisune was explaining that there had been an expedition to investigate something called a torrent stall. She doesn't know exactly what that is, but that she had, from various divinations and things, had indications that it was important. The expedition that had gone out had apparently been destroyed or stopped or something. She wasn't sure. She knew that there was information about it. That was the information. God bless you, Carl.
Sorry.
That was the information that she had essentially traded with this wizard Palak for, because Palak could be the person who had commissioned the expedition in the first place. So you expect that the packet that you have is in fact of that.
Information about the lost expedition
Correct.
of the Tornstall. Okay, gotcha. All right, now I'm with you. And this packet of information, is it in an envelope, a
It's
cube,
an oil
data drive. What?
not a data drive. No, it is an oilskin pouch that you've been given,
Gotcha. Okay.
and it is
So
sealed.
Okay. Magical.
Well, why don't you make a magical skill check to tell if it's magically sealed? Intelligence plus whatever
Okay.
background you have that resolves around your wizard training.
Okay.
Which I would think is none.
Yeah, kind of none. I
Yep.
didn't
So
really.
roll and add 2.
All right. Let me see. Where's my? Rolling that too. Okay. I'll just go into my character here. Okay. Roll.
You don't
Yeah,
detect
no.
any active magic.
Oh, nothing.
What was the magic item that was creating dissonance at Bullstrike Tower that they asked us to take with us?
That is the bow that they gave to Ben.
Okay. Right. Well, I guess let me get invoice. All right. Well, I think we have an orc that needs hunting.
Yeah,
He's only half orc, but it still counts.
That's
I thought we had a
That's-
reward that we were going to get.
Well, I think that if we're going to approach this high wizard, he would be interested in knowing what happened to his pack mate, and rest easier that she has been avenged.
I'm all for a little
Orc hunting, yes,
vengeance.
or orc hunting.
Well, technically, since she's half elf, you could say elf hunting too.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Sander.
Yes.
Help me, my stupid self out. I'm in the character ability thing, and I can't get back to the map.
Can't get back to the map.
You gotta roll. You gotta click on the.
The X upper right hand corner.
Yeah.
What?
It's in the upper right-hand corner. You see those 5 little icons ending with a gear and starting with like a chat. I
Yeah.
think you have to click on those.
The chat bubble will get you to the.
No, I got
Yeah.
to the chat bubble. That's fine. I just can't. I don't have the map up because I'm in like the character thing.
Well, close the character thing by the
Close the
X
character
button.
thing. A little X.
By the
button
what?
on it.
Upper right hand corner.
There's a little X next to the
I
word
can't
edit.
get up. I can't get up there. No, I still can't get up there.
Can you move the
I got it. I got it.
Hit the escape key.
No.
You can also hit the escape key. That drops it down.
It's still not doing it. Oh, there we go. Okay,
the-
I got
the
it.
escape-
My brain
you can
works
hit
now.
the
Got
escape-
it,
Problem
got it.
exists between chair and keyboard.
Yes, that would be correct. Okay,
Good
got
deal.
it. I got it.
So what do you think their
Just have a really quick side question. In our background, when you guys were doing this whole, what does the world look like?
Yep.
Somebody said we can see the Titan from anywhere you are in the world. Is
Absolutely.
that true?
Yeah.
Is that the picture of the Titan you're showing? In that?
Oh no, that's just a representation. That's just a cool image I found. The Titan is holding up the sky. If you look and step out of the tavern and look in the distance, you see the figure of the Titan. Essentially, imagine that's kind of the pole of the world. When everybody does directions and navigational things, that's north,
I see.
and
Okay.
the world spirals out from that.
Gotcha.
Actually, it's Titan word.
Yes. People can actually tell where they are in relation to it, because you can tell, okay, am I facing the left shoulder of the Titan, the right shoulder, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Can I? We're not at the scene of the murder, but
Correct.
while
You
I
guys are
was
at
there,
a tavern. Yes.
but we eventually had investigated that area. Is that correct?
Yeah, you went
Yes.
and looked around there. Yes.
Can I essentially retroactively, if you would, attempt to make an investigation roll to pick up this strange scent of this almost orc, almost elf guy.
I'm gonna say no, because because the building was burnt,
Yes, sir. Makes
and
sense.
the flames and stuff certainly would have covered over any of that kind of smell.
Okay, thank you. That does
Sure.
make sense.
Okay.
So is everyone else up for the revenge thing, or
Marek made
Would
a
they-
good point that it would help us when we talk to the wizard, and it would also, I think, just be a boon to the world to remove the source of these attacks.
Yes, bad orc.
certainly there is nothing worse than an orc pirate?
Yes.
Yep, I agree. Fucking humies.
Mm.
All right.
Or an elven pirate. So
Scott, you're an elf, right?
I was a privateer.
Yes.
That's
yes.
totally different.
Totally different. Did you take? You have the elven racial trait. What is that again? For you?
Cruel. Oh, he's not that kind.
Racial trait? You mean power?
Yes.
I've forgotten what that is.
Teleportation.
Oh, that's right.
I just haven't used it yet.
Elf?
Hmm.
It's heritage of the sword.
There are two kinds of elves. There's high elves and wood elves, and they
Oh,
each have
when you
a,
teleport. Ooh. I like
different-
that.
Different
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
I said teleport.
Yeah, high blood teleport. Yeah. Pretty cool. There's 3 elves. Wood elf.
And dark elves, yes. I'm surprised you didn't take the wood elf one, Scott. That elven grace power is pretty awesome.
I know. I read that it was the grossest power, and I was tempted. But wood elf.
Oh no! So wait a second. You're my go-to elf lover in the group, and yet you are still within that bias. So it's really you only like high elves.
Pretty much. Wood elves are okay.
You are so.
I'm such a racist.
Geeky. So geeky. Okay. So you guys have decided that you want to set out. The details that you have is that this woman called Donna, the half-elf, half-orc pirate leader, she's an agent of the Crow Swarm Pirate. You expect that she's headed out, if she's going to meet up with her boat, or if she's going to settle in and get picked up, she's going to be going to the pirate refuge at Bloodcove. Now, let me ask you this. Do you guys want to head out there immediately? Do you want to ask around a bit? Do you want to do anything here in town before you do that? What do you want to do?
How beat up are we?
Well, you guys are completely healed. You've had a full rest.
Okay, that's fine. That's what I want to know.
I would recommend that we seek the prey while the prey is near, lest it escape. We can re-provision and get more beef jerky when after we have finished our hunt.
Well, do we have a clear idea of where this blood core is?
It is a hidden pirate cove that you and Black Dog both are familiar with, given that you have a background as pirates, both of you, privateers, thieves, horrible pirate type people. So
Yes,
you
thank
are
you.
familiar with it and how to get there. It is a place that requires some very tricky sailing and navigation to get to. And it's a little bit off the charted paths, and certainly they do kind of keep a watch out because, of course, they're watching out for people who would be, trying to ambush them.
Military ships, military flags.
Exactly.
So what kind of boat do we have access to?
Well, yes, that's actually probably what we should do first. Is take this magic boat that we have.
We don't have a magic boat, do we?
Yes,
Yes.
they do. That's what
Oh,
you
well,
got.
I didn't think we got it yet.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought we
the,
had
her servant gave you the magic boat and gave Scott the code word to activate the magic boat.
Gave
Let us-
the elf.
Let us take it out to.
Well, let's look at it. I mean, have we seen it yet? Have you seen it? How seaworthy is it? How good is it?
I don't
What is
know.
it?
I'm saying let's take it down to
Okay,
the docks, or
Let's do that.
or
I'll go with
Okay. So
the
I'm going to assume that you guys will all go down, or do you guys just want to go down and test it out, and the other people do something else? What do you want to do?
we can go down by ourselves. We just need to check it out. Anybody who knows about boats should.
Yeah, I want to go with the checking the boat out team because I've got some backgrounds in seafaring.
That you
Good.
do. Okay.
We need to hunt. We can have the voyage and check out boat as we move.
Yeah, unless the boat is shitty, and then we're in big trouble, dumbass. If you're a landlubber, know what you're doing, and if you're not, then shut up.
Really, because I think we should probably find that out in the bay. It shouldn't take that long, right?
Thanks for all your wonderful experience. How many boats have you sailed?
None.
Yes, that's what I thought. 0. Shut up. Go do something else. Oh, he's getting
let's
mad.
make sure it's not leaking. It doesn't sink when we're halfway out into the bay.
Okay. So, Ben, are you going with them to check out the boat, or is do you want to check some
No.
stuff around?
I think I'm gonna check out other stuff.
Okay. Well, let me come back to you two. I'm going to deal with the boat thing first, and then I'll come back and check in quickly with you two. Does that seem reasonable?
I mean, if you're
Now,
staying in
by
town,
the way, yeah, where is this in it? What city? Where are we?
You are in the city of Ascariath. I will quickly type that into the chat thing.
like Judas.
Like Judas with a lisp.
Yes, Ascariath.
Don't have it, Linus. Come here.
So
If you two are looking for something to do while we're gone, getting supplies is on our list. How far is it to this place?
it's probably a good. Well, here's the thing: is you don't know the speed of this boat. You know it's about a 2-day sail from here.
Okay.
Assuming the winds are okay. Faster if the winds are favorable, the tides, or sorry, the currents, those things. The
So yeah,
currents
so at least a
move
few
more
days
like
of
the wind.
supplies.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Can
right.
you just tell me? Can you just tell me a little bit about Iscariot? What
Can
kind
I
of
tell
city
you
is
that
it?
when
Where
I come back to you? Do you mind?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Bring it
so,
back.
Black Dog,
Yes.
Rook, and Tomaso. It's God. I'm gonna keep saying that wrong. Matt.
Tommaso.
Tomasa.
Tomasa.
I gotta make the
Be
ah
back in a
sound.
second.
Sorry. You three will go down. It is about midday. You guys go down to the bay then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And go over. How do you want to do this? Do you want to get into the water? Do you want to drop it off the dock? How do you want to do this?
I leave
Did
that
she
up.
give us any kind of clue?
No.
Or is this where you're going to say, why don't you make a knowledge of magic items roll and laugh as none of us have the skill?
That's what I would normally do, but in this case, very specifically, all that she gave you was the magic word. Now, you may recall, and I'll say this, is the one thing she definitely said when she was talking about the boat in the very first sort of encounter that you had with her. She mentioned that you wouldn't want to do it on land or in a river or something like that for fear of getting it beached, because it'd be very difficult after that. That it also needed water to shrink back down.
Well, then I'm not about to go into the water with it if it's got the potential of getting so big that it would be problematic and getting crushed by it.
Does the thing float?
The object?
Yes.
You don't know.
Well, if I go down to the, the shore where it's, still only knee deep,
Okay.
and set it down without saying the word, does it?
It will
Does it
float.
does it weigh as much as a witch?
It will float.
All right. Is there a relatively clear space or dock that's unused that's a little bit away from every.
Okay, so you move back towards the end, where the docks sort of give out, and maybe there's a little more space and a little more privacy.
Yep.
Okay, and you'll set that there, and you can get yourself a decent amount of space.
Then since I will basically toss it in the water away from the dock.
Let's not toss it because it might not go upright.
I mean, is it in the shape of like a boat?
Nope, it is a wooden baton.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
Throw it in the water and
throw
activate it,
once. Yep.
and it will take perhaps maybe half a minute. You'll see the shape kind of shake and shiver and start to expand out. And sort of when the one end kind of touches at the sort of shoreline, it'll push kind of it out, and it will stretch and inflate, and there is a glow to it, and suddenly you've got this. It goes. It's kind of phantasmal for a while. Then boom, you've got a boat, a good-looking, narrow boat. It's a clearly striking boat, in the sense that when you look at it, you go, "Oh, that's a good-looking boat." The vessel is dark. The wood almost looks like teak. It's that sort of dark black brown, and the sails and the mast are also a jet black. And it looks sort of striking and cruel, but at the same time it's also very clearly like super polished. So you get kind of that weird kind of polish flare off of it when you're looking at it, and it is solid, and it is even in the water, and it is very nice.
Well, I guess then we'll have to either swim out of, or if it's close enough to the dock, jump.
We can throw. I mean, it's got stuff on. I mean, it's a regular boat, though. I mean, you can throw a line to it and
Throw a line
pull
onto
to
it.
and pull to it and jump
Fun
on
war.
stuff.
Okay,
I'll
so
jump on. I'll jump on and start looking around. I mean, really look through its lines, see what.
To make a wisdom plus your piracy background.
Wisdom.
You can
Is
do
that
this,
plus
you
level?
can-
Yeah.
Yep, you can do the same, Matt.
All right.
Right.
Wisdom.
So that is what the character she got.
Plus 6.
Okay.
What I get there?
So you'll remember a few things that she said about the boat. When you kind of play with the sail, the sail seems to kind of fill with wind, even though there's not much of a breeze. And you have the sense that if you were to move this, it would catch, whatever wind was there, and certainly raise the level of it. It won't go in a completely becalmed wind, but it feels like it's a boat that will go very fast. So that has that magic to it. Matt, you will see that there are definitely, while there's not a below deck, at the back end, what is that, the stern? He said, betraying his lack of nautical knowledge.
I think it's the stern. Yes.
Stern, that there is a covered space there that, if you need to keep things out of the weather, or people wanting to sleep under cover, there's a section there that a couple people could fit into. And then actually there's no hold to the boat, but there are some panels that when you lift them up, there is storage space underneath the boards there. It isn't like a smuggler's panel. It can be detected, but it allows you to actually store some goods here. You will recall that she said that You want to make sure if you put things on here, you take them off. That stuff doesn't shrink with the boat.
Okay.
Do we know what happens to it? Does it? So it just basically gets booted off the boat into the water.
Or
You have no
crushed,
idea.
or explosion of the dark portal of the portal or whatever.
What if we
You
put a
don't know.
portable hole in the boat?
Well, you would have to first find a portable hole to test that hypothesis or test that particular occurrence. And since you don't have one, I'm not going to answer that question. Scott, you will definitely get. Now you have a couple magic items now. Do you have another magic item? I forget.
No, I do not have another magic item.
Okay.
Everything else.
You will just get the sort of the hum of the boat, the hum of the boat that kind of wants to be out on the water. It wants to be out there. Why don't you make a wisdom check for me, Scott?
Does we have any idea how long it's going to stay like this?
Until you say the magic word.
Again?
Yes.
Just a wisdom?
Just a straight wisdom check for me.
Ooh, that's not good.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like.
Okay, hold on. It's way up the top. Yes. Don't have any.
Actually, let's see. What's your spy master is 5.
5, so that make it a 13.
You will see down the ways that you suspect that you guys have been watched. When you kind of go to look, you're maybe a little less subtle about the kind of spotting somebody, and they will definitely vanish back into the city.
All right.
Does that seem reasonable?
Seems reasonable. I guess from the people here, we all have sailing backgrounds. Do we think how many people is it going to take to control and sail this ship?
You would say that the minimum number of people you would need to run this ship in good conditions would be 2. The maximum people that this ship could handle without it getting to be a problem would be about 12.
And since it doesn't have a cabin or below decks, everyone's pretty much on the deck.
Yes.
So
it is a good stealthy ship, though. I mean, it is dark and quiet. There's no creaking from it as you guys move around on it. That's probably actually the most disturbing thing to you three. Is most boats, when you walk around, there's the creak and the give of the wood and the sound of it moving. It doesn't make any of those sounds. Meanwhile, Merrick, tell me what you are doing, if anything I should know about. Going and getting the food?
Actually, why don't you let, if it's okay, go ahead and have Ben go, and then I'll go.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Ben, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you want to do in the meantime? So you want me to tell you about Iscariot first?
Yeah.
So Iscariot is a modest port. It is on a fairly large island. As I mentioned before, there are several different, actually 5 different peoples of the elves. Most of them, sort of the big leader of the elves is, of course, the Blood King of the elves. But this is the elves of the Thorn King. So there's a river that goes through here out to the bay. The river goes deeper into the woodlands of this area. So Iscariot is kind of the crossroads trading area for these elves, these wood elves, and a number of different peoples. The place is very much goes from sort of high to low, sort of a downslope as you move from the furthest inland point of the city out towards the bay. It all kind of goes downhill, very San Francisco-esque.
Okay.
Okay.
And is it a city of order, policed, or is it a hive of scum and villainy? Is it?
It is a more mercantile crossroads. The elves definitely leave the traders and so on to their own devices, but they have a guard presence here, and they hire foreigner, non-elven guards as well. It isn't necessarily a hive of scum and villainy. It certainly isn't regarded as that, but neither is there an iron hand watchword here. It is a careful kind of maintained enclave. People know that if the Thorn King's elves didn't decide that the city was too much of a problem, they would shut the city down. So people don't make too much of a mess, because there are very lovely trade goods that can be gotten from the woods of the Thorn King, hardwoods and so on.
I see. Okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna go get some provisions, I suppose.
Okay.
For a trip. I guess we have a room at the inn.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to a sundry store, which I mean, if it's a trading city, I assume that there's lots of those.
Sure. Why don't you roll me d20? You will travel, find a provision thing, be able to certainly get goods there. You've got enough coin to do that. Do you want to try and hard bargain your way with that, or are you just more concerned with getting the goods?
Can I observe around? Does it look like it's pretty safe that I'm not in any danger? If that's the case, then I'll bargain.
Okay. Go ahead and make a charisma roll for me.
Okay.
Plus any kind of merchant skill you might have.
Yeah, that I don't have. So. 14 or 16.
16.
Plus 4.
So certainly you will be able to cut a little bit of an edge off from the price there. And as you're kind of gathering the things together for the trip, you will see a group of people outside moving along. One of them kind of splits off from the group, and you recognize a fellow from one of your previous recon teams that you worked with when you were serving as a mercenary. And his name is Elak Farkill.
Okay.
Star Killer?
I greet him.
And
Star Killer.
Elak, I've not seen you in ages.
and he kind of, Kathak, you see him as you're kind of used to, make a small gesture out of habit that you suspect is a classic kind of sign of warding of evil. Your tiefling blood often brought that out from people who were particularly religious. He does it almost more out of instinct than he does out of any disregard or anything. It's purely habitual, and he will put his hand out to shake your hand. He's Master Kathak, what are you doing here in Ascariath?
I'm here with some friends, and we're about to engage on. I guess we decided to deliver some information. Is that what we decided to do?
No, you decided to go and kill a bunch of pirates.
Oh, right. I'll mention that we are actually after some pirates.
Oh, I see. Hired on for mercenaries again, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, who's
In a manner of speaking.
Who's hired you?
Well, and let me see if I personally get this information right. I guess the Gordana, this half-sword pirate, attacked Lady Naisune.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yep.
And that's why. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that was that attack that happened a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Oh. Wait.
And
So
what
are
brings
you?
you? And what brings you here?
It goes. Wait. Are you doing this for vengeance or for coin?
I don't know. I was in the bathroom. And, what are we doing this for? Vengeance or coin?
Vengeance.
Okay. No, we're here to at the service of Lady Naisune, actually. So it's not for coin.
Well, but doing that for a dead woman, that doesn't seem like smartest or savviest business sense.
Well,
No. You are always a strange duck. Odd things. I tell you what, though. I was hired on. I've been working a more stable job. You should consider not traveling around and helling about. I was hired on as a guardsman for one of the houses at the Unconquered Port.
oh, where is that?
And he describes it's a pretty major port city, very strident and very well known for its independence from other empires. Because
The city is called the Unconquered Port.
Yes.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
He says you should come and sign up with my company there.
I'll look it up when I'm in that area next.
Yes. And he says he gives you the some of the locations that you might look for him in. But yes, if you come to the Unconquered Port, come and seek me out. Your bow is always to be feared on the battlefield, and certainly it would be an easier task. I've put on a few pounds since I joined up with the
see
service
that.
there.
I tap his belly. And who are you in the service of?
A man named Hengala.
I see. Is he treating you well?
Oh yes, absolutely. There are Hengala. Let's say that he is a lazy man, which I appreciate. In fact, actually, we're here escorting his daughter, who was coming to buy silks. So it was a pretty much a babysitting expedition.
I see. Well, I shall let you get about your business then.
Absolutely. It was a surprising coincidence to see you. I hope that your venture goes well.
Thank you, and yours as well.
And he will head off.
Okay, great.
And you will get the goods. You will get supplies. You've made sure to get things that will keep on a travel over water, and get those wrapped up, and you will have that set. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What about you, Sir Fabian Merrick?
My thought was, is there some kind of central authority or something that would have like a posting of bounties, that kind of thing for various criminals, etc.?
There certainly would be places that would. There are two kinds of things. There is a bounty hunters guild, and then there might be declarations of bounties made at sort of the city offices here.
Okay. So there's a bounty hunters guild, and I'm assuming that essentially requires like membership and everything.
Yes, it's a kind of organized, people-y thing that you're uncomfortable with.
Right. Okay. Well, I will go more towards the city officials, essentially, since they run the man pack. And I would like to locate a bounty on this particular pirate and make a connection with someone in charge of that.
Sure. Why don't you make a charisma check for me?
Okay. Now, I don't know if this is relevant or not, but I do have a background in travelers, so just general information, if this is just knowing somewhere in town.
No, I think travel is more of right now we're talking about bureaucracy and things like that.
Got it. Okay. So this is that roll?
That is a good background, and I'll let you apply it. But for here, I think it'll just be a straight charisma check.
I'm pretty sure I found it with that.
Okay. So no, you won't find that, and in fact, you won't be able to find where the offices are, where they have the bounty hunters here. Why don't you roll me a d20 though?
15.
Merrick, as you are going along and traveling, you will catch a scent. Kind of sticks in your nostrils. You'll kind of follow it back, and you will see in another one of these taverns, not a great tavern, clearly low end.
Farted.
And a lot of orcs and half orcs here.
Ooh.
And you will see a orc that you pretty sure you killed. A mean son of a bitch orc, one that you fought that was hard fought, that you were certain that you killed and left him for dead, but a just barely kind of thing. This would have been a couple of years ago. You will see, though, that he definitely has scars on the left side of his face running down there that are the marks of your claws.
Okay. Now, is this, just for clarification, is this someone that I personally felt attacked my pack, or is this just someone that on my that I targeted in my rampage?
That you targeted in your rampage.
It
was an orc that crossed your paths of Stephen Repute, not a good guy, not a nice guy. But again, a lot of that is a blur, and you don't really remember all of those things. But you remember
all
the
the people
scent.
that you killed.
You remember the blood. You remember leaving this one for dead. And he's still alive.
I will go into the tavern.
Hoisting the sail!
All right. You walk into this tavern of orcs.
In human form.
In human form. There may be a dozen orcs in here. Various kinds and types standing there. They kind of look at you. You're clearly the only human in here.
Okay.
And you will see an orc. Almost looks like he's kind of a barkeep / bouncer. He'll step up to meet you, and he kind of looks at you and he goes, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I would like a drink.
There's a bar for your kind across the street.
I would like a drink.
And you'll hear the scritching of chairs and so on when you kind of raise your voice there. Go on.
What? Am I not good enough to be served here? Sorry, wrong voice. I would like a drink. I did not come for a fight, but that's welcome too.
Why don't you make a charisma check for me, Fabian?
Okay. Can I add to that the whole pack dominance kind of thing. The skill raised as a wolf, that raised as a wolf, that whole vying for
I would
dominance.
absolutely give you that if dealing with animals or wolves or things like that. I would give you that 100%. But I think here in this case, we're dealing with kind of a bar thing, so it's a little bit less. Or if you were dealing with tribal orcs, people organized like that, I might give that to you.
Okay. Well, I will try and do it anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Charisma.
There is that pause there. You kind of rage intimidation. Just see some of the orcs look around, but of course nobody here particularly wants to back down. But you'll hear one of the orcs go, "Let the human have a drink." You, what's your name?
Marek. Is this the one who I identified?
No, you see, it's another one. He will gesture for you to come over. You see the bouncer / bartender clearly will let this pass, and the orc gestures for you to come and sit across from him.
I do.
And
you have my name, sir. And may I inquire or may I ask what your name is?
My name is Chill Stealer.
I see.
Would you make a wisdom roll for me, Fabian?
6.
And so, what's your pack thing?
5.
Okay. You smell wolf on him.
Is this the smell of the wolf? Is this the smell of? Is it mixed with blood?
Like he's
a hunter of wolves. Like there's blood.
No, not like that.
I find I'll noticeably sniff. I detect the favorable odor of the wild about you.
Because in polite company, we don't sniff like that, Merrick.
That sounds like kind of a come on to me, but
yeah, I was thinking this scene was getting a little homoerotic.
Ding, 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 ding. I'll show you my wolf. You show me yours.
He will say, "I know who you are, Merrick."
And I have no idea who you are.
That's fair.
Would you care to correct that, sir?
No,
he's
I don't.
English. He's an English wolfhound.
I don't think so, but I will say this. I'm going to get up and leave now. I suggest you come with me. If you stay here, then you will have to show your form and fight all of these, and while I know of your repute, I do not suspect you will win this day.
I find myself compelled to join you, not for fear of losing or dying, but because I'm intrigued as to who you are.
Yes, that's it. I'm not afraid.
I will not back down. Right.
And he will walk with you out. And the other orcs certainly give you an eye. And you will get out sort of into the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he will look at you and he will say, "There are some who are caught in between, somewhat different than you. But that speak to the same master. Some of us who are outcast and alone."
What is the name of this master? For I have no master.
You have no master, but you have shown your aid and allegiance to the Great Rat?
Yes, he is a worthy individual, from what I can tell.
Do not throw your skills away on vengeance, Merrick. You have good to do in this world.
My vengeance is over. My hatred is dissipating.
And yet, there was the scent of blood there. You would have
Blood
pushed.
never washes away.
It doesn't, but you would have pushed hard enough, and then you would have had to fight all of those. And how many of those orcs were your enemies? All of them? Some of them? None of them?
Honestly, none.
Then that was no reason to fight. Go back to your comrades. We will meet again.
Indeed. I will, insofar as I have no idea what polite would be, I memorize his scent.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. There's no
Thank you.
butt sniffing, but there is a sort of catching of that you have to sort of...
I want to see him
scent-
butt sniff.
No.
I want him to role play it. Oh.
We're playing online. There's no way to do that, Carl.
Carl, I don't do it. I don't do that when you pay me. Oh wait, you never pay me.
But
Well,
So,
I pay you for your other skills.
oh God, I love that your laugh there is just so wet, Carl.
Moist. is the word I would
Moist.
use.
So we will assume that you guys will gather yourself together. Can I assume that you guys will meet up? Does that
Yes.
seem
Yes.
reasonable? And you will essentially pass on the information that the boat is seaworthy. I
Yes.
assume. Get that.
Yes. It is
Sent?
seaworthy. And sailable. We just need some provisions. Do I think that this is, from what I know, is it going to be better off to sail this boat to Bloodcove, find it stealthily, shrink it back down, and go ashore that way, rather than try to pass it off as a pirate ship? Is it clearly not? I mean, is it too nice to be a pirate ship? Could it,
Does it have any cannons on it?
Well, they don't have cannons in this era.
Oh, right.
There's
Okay.
no guns.
So we don't even have close to the amount of crew to take over a ship.
Right. No, you would be essentially a raiding vessel of some kind. And that's certainly a pirate thing.
No.
Okay.
The islands are close enough to one another. That's a common thing when you're going in sort of denser areas. You think, Scott, with your skills, if you needed to pass it off as a pirate vessel, you could do that with ease. You have confidence in that. You also think that the other possibility would be to sail around. It would take some skill, of course, because the coral and the reefs and so on by there. But if you could sail around to make landfall and then shrink the boat, you could do that as well. Both are possible given your guys' immense skills.
Immense.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the group to say, what is our goal here again? Exactly. What are we trying to do? We're going to go into this pirate-infested area and do what?
Kill an orc.
Kill one orc, surrounded by a whole bunch of other orcs.
And the others that get in the way.
I will point out that the other detail Scott discovered was that they didn't just raid the house and burn it; they also took things.
Okay, and so I mean, our
killing her is probably going to happen, but I'm more interested in exactly how she knew what was going on at those exact few days that we were gone, what she stole and why.
Right, and I
Okay, how many orcs are we talking about here? I mean, with with the idea of we know what the island is, how many people could it support? I mean, are we talking 50? Are we talking 10? Are we talking 1,000?
Are you talking about how many people are in that pirate settlement, or are you talking about
Yes.
how many people are in her crew?
Well, both.
Well, okay, so that's a different thing. So she was accompanied by maybe people said a dozen and a half. The
Okay.
numbers vary about how many
Okay,
people she
that's
had
fine.
with
That's
you.
fine. That's close enough.
Enough to say that she couldn't have had a particularly big vessel, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I think.
Well, in the
Now
settlement.
let me finish, if I may.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of sense of what crew she had with her there. Now the question is whether she has a pirate vessel that she's meeting up with, and she has the rest of the crew. If they're coming to get her, that's all in question. Given the size of the boat that people saw, she couldn't get too much further without meeting up with a bigger vessel to go out of the range of the area. Now, the question about the size of the pirate settlement, it's a classic little pirate village. So maybe 100, 125 people there.
Okay.
People who do trade and smuggling and that kind of thing, and retired pirates and stuff. Not too big that it's noticeable. People can break things down and head out if they need to.
So she's half orc, half elf. So it's probably reasonable to think that this is not just a orc, or I mean, it's kind of a catch-all thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a hive of multiracial scum and villainy.
And so I've probably been into places like this. What are the chances?
Yeah.
So what are the chances? I mean, if it's a new face, especially, I mean, me and Kathok, or not me and Kathok, me and Rook, probably would fit in relatively well. Marek, maybe. Kathok, maybe. Matt, I can't remember. What's your guy's name?
Tommaso.
That's what it was. I couldn't. Yeah, Tommaso, maybe not so much, but we might be able to work with that.
Let me ask you this, Tommaso. I know that in some of your background stuff, you mentioned, having traveled along shore. You also have the background with the Surgeon Penitent, and you have the background of being, at sea as what did you call it? The gondolier. What's your advantages or disadvantages in interacting with this kind of area? You might be muted, by the way.
Yep, sorry, I was trying to spare you guys, baby. I think in this kind of situation, he wouldn't be unusual, right? Because I think in this kind of pirate place, you're going to have kind of like the itinerant street preacher types coming around, so I don't think he'd be unusual, especially because like his...
Plus, he's not like a pretty cleric.
Yeah. Like his mission is kind of like to go to like the worst, so
Okay. No, that's fine. That's good, as long as we got an idea. But now I want to ask you guys again. So our plan is there's 12 to 18 pirates there. We're going to go in, kill this one, screw around, try and get back this stuff, and there's 18 pirates going to try and kill us back, and there might be 120 pirates who, don't really like us sneaking in and killing people. So I'm asking, what the fuck are we doing, and why are we doing it?
Now, we're not raiding a town, right?
No, but the thing is, if you have a bunch of people come in and start hacking people to death, other people are going, what? Well, I don't know who you are, and I know those guys, so I'm against you.
Okay, let me just ask for clarification.
And my point is, regardless if you can do this one way or the other, why are we doing this? I mean, yeah, they killed this lady who we don't really know that well, and we don't really know why they killed her. But tell me why we care. That's what I'm asking you guys.
Okay. What I expect to get from this, or what I hope to get from this, are the following. Retrieve any items that were potentially taken.
Like what items? What are they? What value do they have? Is it money? Or
You're interrupting. Let me finish.
I know, but you're not going to tell me.
we're going to retrieve whatever items that are available. But that's not the primary purpose. The primary purpose is hopefully to capture and interrogate this person and find out why she was attacked, and then use that information in our interactions with the High Wizard. This obviously was a very well orchestrated raid and attack that attacked. Came in middle of the night, killed a powerful wizard. Obviously, there's a lot going on here behind the scenes that I think this information would be valuable to this High Wizard, who obviously had some kind of relationship with Lady Naisune.
And,
Okay, I'm
and
just
let
saying.
me
Go ahead,
pause.
go ahead.
Let me
Go
pause
ahead,
here to clarify, if only because I just want to help you guys with the terms of the discussion. So, what do you know about Lady Naisune? You know that she was a sorceress. You know that she was an active opponent of the Leviathan, and that was sort of her set of interests, was opposing the actions of the Leviathan, and you have the sense that the reason she sent you for that packet was that she believed that it had something to do with either what was going on with the Titan, or with some plot that was surrounding, the Leviathan. So those are the details that you know about that. And certainly when you got to the Bolt Strike, you did see evidence of two different figures, of both of the Siren and the Leviathan.
Okay, but to finish my reasoning, perhaps the most compelling on a personal level for me is someone came in the middle of a night and attacked people unawares and completely wiped this person out for some unknown reason. And that strikes a chord with me as being, this is incredibly wrong. This is not the kind of thing that should be allowed to happen again. Because as it happened to my character and as back in his history, this is not something that I want to tolerate, if you would. This murder in the night of these people, and I realize how hypocritical this is, but that's also part of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was falling asleep there for a second.
I agree that by doing this, we'll reduce the total amount of suffering in the world, and
Oh God, you're
these
not supposed to be on
pirates
their
are like
side.
an infection, and by coming in and sending a message, we staunch the growth of that infection into the world. And if you're wondering how this affects you personally, my belief is that the nature of magic is sympathetic. The universe is reciprocal. By doing this, good will come back to you.
And we get to kill an orc.
That's not what I'm
I think
saying.
there's a I think there's a bigger picture here that's going on, and this pirate or whoever employed the pirate clearly knows what the bigger picture is. I would like to find out what the bigger picture is between the Leviathan and the Siren, this missing expedition, and what the connection to the Titan is.
Well, I don't like it, and I think you guys got a crappy plan, and you don't really know what you're trying to get into. But I should be dead if it wasn't for Tommaso. So that's the way it goes.
I need a point of clarification. When this was originally described, this Blood Cove, I assumed it was a cove, like an inlet with a beach, and that they and created a small camp there, etc.
It's
right?
It's a little pirate town, yeah.
But it is a pirate town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set up to service them. It's a very difficult maze to get into. That's information that's passed around from person to person. That's a kind of a secret. That's how they evade things, and sometimes it's abandoned and they go back after a time.
Okay.
It's a very
Well, not that.
makeshift shanty town.
Okay. That doesn't necessarily change what I want to do, but it perhaps changes the tactics of it. But thank you for the
Sure.
clarification.
So I'm hearing that you guys do want to move forward with this. Am I correct?
That's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
Okay. So
With
you guys.
reservations from Black Dog.
Okay. And Ben, you supply the provisions and the food.
Yeah.
All right. So we will move to you guys sailing across the seas there, making your way. The boat is significantly faster than you would have expected. It is fast. It cuts through the water like a black dart. Why don't all three of you mariners, that is Rook and Tommaso and Black Dog, all make, let's see, one of you gets to make an intelligence check,
Not
one of you
me.
gets to make a wisdom check, and one of you gets to make a dexterity check.
Dexterity.
I would like wisdom, please.
I'll take the last one.
Intelligence.
Not that I'm really what? Where's that? Okay, there it is.
God. I'll use my hero point.
You don't have a hero point. That's what I love.
After running a game for those guys, yes, I completely understand that, Lowell.
And Scott?
Looking. Okay. Woohoo!
What?
It is primarily as you guys get close, and it is you guys have gone through the night, and it's probably 4-5 a.m. that you get close, and Scott Rook is doing that kind of careful fine-tuning of moving the way through, looking at the marks, judging where the currents have shifted to, and where the coral is. A lot of it is just below the waters. Very dangerous razor coral that's there. Now, do you guys want to go through the pass, make your way in, and essentially settle here on the island at the docks, or do you want to kind of make your way around and make landfall and then kind of sneak up? Which do you wish to do?
Um,
And I think this is Rook's decision.
if we could have during the voyage spent a little time to at least dirty up the ship a little, or also disguise ourselves to at least look the part. I think probably going just in as basically raiders would work. Otherwise, I mean, either way, if we have to leave in a hurry, I mean, the boat takes like a half a minute to grow.
Yep.
So if we already have it grow, then we could probably leave faster. So
Okay.
plus, we might be able to get information easier if they know. I mean, if they just think we're regular
All right.
pirates and we just didn't appear out of nowhere.
So you will sail through the sort of the hidden channels of these corals, come in closer to the island. It's often fog shrouded, and it definitely has a thing where even as you guys are coming up, you don't see a beach or anything. It's sort of at the last minute when you kind of make the last turn that you will see it bank around to where there is a cove, there is a shantytown there, and you will see a low to the water watchman's boat kind of move to intercept you, and you'll see this figure come up on you and shout to you, hail. You can see that there are a couple of larger vessels here. what you know about them is that the sort of the two larger boats, they have to move very carefully in to get here and settle in. It's not an easy thing to get out, so they're settled there, and then probably some other smaller skiff boats. But the person on the sort of the watch boat will row up to where you're at, and will give you sort of the hail signal.
We'll give him the appropriate sort of pirate return greeting.
Okay. Why don't you make a charisma plus your piracy skill, Scott?
Rooks Rivas. Charisma. Where is my? So that's
Are you using your name?
probably not a good idea.
I'm just asking. It might be a great idea.
No, didn't I steal something from or kill some Crowsworn pirates?
Yeah, isn't this the boat that you took from one of them? No, actually, this is a boat you took from the Leviathan. But
Yeah.
you may have stolen something from the Crowsworn pirate, which is why you're opposed.
I have a -1 reaction, so probably giving my
Yes.
real name's a bad.
There is that, sir.
So let's see. So pirating and my charisma and my level. There. No, there's no rerolls, right?
There's no rerolls. He'll
but 17's
he'll
not bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. Essentially, he listens. You give him the proper speech. He doesn't activate the magical defenses that they have. They probably have a couple of fireball spells set up that, would raise a hue and a cry if somebody were attacking, and would also hit your boat. And he will nod, and he will look at the boat you're on, which is you dirtied up and it's kind of striking, and he will kind of come up and he'll say, someone told me that there might be a boat like this coming.
Oh. They were expected. Excellent.
Yes, a man named Sazik. He's in the Bath Chowder Inn.
Oh.
He said for you to look him up when you arrived.
I'll be sure to do that. Thank you. I'll give him.
Give him some coin. Tip him.
Give him some coin, basically. Tip him, and also use my spymaster skills, sort of, to slip him a little extra, and say if it's all right. I'd like my coming to Sazik be a surprise. You know what I mean.
Ah, no words past these lips. Pirate to pirate.
Pirate's honor, yes. I think to myself,
Parlay.
Parlay.
And you guys will be able to sail up, get out on this wooden dock. The larger ships, the actual sort of pirate ships, are out, at anchor a little ways further out in the bay. There are some smaller skiffs. You will see that a vessel that matches sort of the description you got of the orcish, sort of half orcish, half whatever attack vessel certainly is present there.
So can I tell? Does it look like they've been here long? Did we catch? We made it here pretty darn fast. So
why don't you make a wisdom plus seafaring roll?
They had a pretty good head start.
Is there something that identifies the Crowsworn pirate?
There's certainly a marker for people who are direct agents of the Crowsworn pirate. Most people don't
Advertised.
necessarily advertise. So, but
We'll
We know
certainly
we know what we're
not
looking for.
yeah,
not park our ship right next to theirs. Let's put
right.
it that way.
That seems fair enough. It does look like this is definitely the ship of Galdana that she used, and you would say that the smaller of the two vessels out in the bay is probably her ship. Um, Carl, why don't you make a pirate plus wisdom roll for me, and you
Well.
too, Matt, for extra facts that you guys can determine.
No, that's with their level.
Yeah. And add your gondolier skill or your pirate skill or whatever to that.
Oh, I'm rolling really well.
Okay.
That happened.
Oh, I'm still entangling myself from the ropes.
Okay. Some facts you will get. It looks like this boat hasn't been here all that long. You guys just have made up some of the gap in the distance. Less than a day, you would say. It does look like Galdana's ship that's out in the bay, that a good deal of the crew are on that. You would guess that they're getting ready to head out after dawn, so in a few hours. So you would guess that the majority of her crew are actually out there on the ship.
So we could either go in now, if she's still there, or we could we could come up in the night and hit the ship. I'm thinking.
Well, I want to find out what's going on more than butcher a bunch of pirates. It sounds like this man that the lookout asked us to meet knows what's going on. If he was expecting a boat that looks like this, then he was probably expecting Goldana to be the one that has it, assuming that he had something to do with the raid that attacked her place. He probably assumes that she,
I think meeting the human or the pirate man thing is preferable, but engaging Goldana in the town, I think raiding from the ocean is a better alternative. Our ship can easily overtake theirs, according to what you have said about it.
So how about let's go? Do you want to talk to this guy? Odds are that. How do you want to approach this guy? Likely he sent or has some knowledge of why the raiders were sent in to get this boat.
The goal really here is we have many, and I think gathering that information is advisable.
And you guys sort of are talking there as you tie up on the docks there. It is still, it's 4 a.m, but you can see that several of the taverns are still open, and the various houses with doxes and ladies of ill repute and gigolos and that kind of thing. And there's that sort of drunks laying out in the street, dark, horrible alleys with people carrying out illicit business.
Every alley is named Jathan Alley here.
Yes. So I heard, if I may, to check with what I was hearing there, I did hear that you guys want to go in and at least check on this person that you were given the name of.
What was his name again?
Sazik.
Sazik. Yes, go and check on this Sazik. Probably go to one of the local taverns first to set up at least a temporary base of operations and see if we can find out where he is and anything about him before we just go meet him blind.
How
Yes, Fabian?
I'll just ask this of them, but perhaps you can respond. Like, is it safe to leave our vessel here? It is a pirate town.
And it's a really nice looking vessel. It only takes 2 people to sell.
I will volunteer to stay and guard
I mean,
the ship.
Here's what I'm going to say to you guys. I will let you tie off, pretty securely here, and get it set. Move it. It is dark, so it's hard to tell how nice the vessel is here. Again, it is still, 4 a.m. in the morning. You can tie it to make the knots difficult and conceal it, and I will take it off the table as a problem. How does that sound?
Okay.
Oh, please.
Just because I'd
Too
rather
bad it
not
doesn't
have
have
the
a-
group necessarily split up.
Okay.
Well, too bad it doesn't have a lock.
You'll have to get one of those.
It does. You put it in your pocket.
Yep. That's the other option if you want to be totally safe, Scott, is to shrink the vessel.
Either
But
way, just tell me what you're doing, Scott.
if we shrink it, though, we won't be able to do that
Okay, that's fine.
subtly.
Okay.
So
So, you want to quickly gather some information. Why don't you make a streetwise roll? Anybody who wants to do that, your roll will determine. So this is the thing about whether you want to decide whether you want to do this or not. You'll roll your appropriate sort of urban streetwise skill with charisma. Your roll will determine A, the information that you get, and B, how much heat you attract.
Mm-mm.
Who wants to roll?
Work pirate probably works, but I'm not.
I have thief, street thief. I have spy.
Look at those.
Spy
Those
master.
are
I have
great. Those all
privateer.
seem great. Scott?
Unfortunately, they don't all act. They don't add together, do they?
No. Why don't you use spy master?
But I'll use the highest one.
Yep.
That
plus charisma?
Woohoo!
Okay. Does anybody else want to roll?
Is it beneficial for more than one person to roll with this?
Not necessarily.
It's beneficial to get more information. It's not beneficial to go out and look like an idiot and attract a lot of attention.
If you roll badly or roll low, then you're going to attract attention and cause problems for the group.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll definitely roll.
Okay. So charisma plus whatever your streetwise skill is then, Vavian.
Traveler.
Okay.
Can I use Traveler?
Absolutely. All right, so Fabian, you're not a pirate. So
If you had a dime for every time you heard that,
You just like to eat them.
Scott, you will start asking around and getting stuff, and Merrick definitely attracts attention.
Oh, great. Well, I'll use him as my sort of, distraction. So they're not paying attention to me.
Okay.
I am the shill.
Who's that rube?
And Merrick, what do you look like again? Your human form?
In human form, I am about 6 foot tall. I am not necessarily imposing of build. I carry a staff, wear some leather armor. Don't really care too much about, how kempt I am. I'm fairly
Do you kind
unkempt.
of look wolf-like in your human form?
Yes, simply for the fact that I haven't been able to really get a good handle on how humans are supposed to look.
Okay.
So it's kind of like at one point I saw that this face that I kind of liked, and then I have the hair of this other guy that was kind of wild and all this other stuff. So yeah, just kind of this amalgam,
He
kind of
looks
like
like Frankenstein.
Fair enough.
kinda.
Okay, Scott. Here's what you will get from your questioning. This guy Sazik, you will. People will say, "Oh yeah, I know Sazik," and they'll say he comes back and forth. He's not exactly one of us, but he does good business. He's works with the fences sometimes and helps move goods and things. Um, they'll describe him. Apparently, he's blind in one eye, an older guy. And in particular, you ask, and they will say he's been here for several days. He arrived several days ago. Sort of as you ask with that 30, you also get the sense you will hear that Goltdana is in town, that she and a few of her crew are at another one of the essentially drinking establishments a little ways down the shoreline, and that Goltdana's leaving essentially in the morning. Not entirely clear what her business here is.
Is Sazik affiliated with any of the icons?
Well, a lot of people don't necessarily
advertise that.
Don't necessarily advertise that.
But I imagine a lot of people, obviously here, the Gross One Pirates are big, but all right. So she's here, but not with him. Is he in a different?
He's in a different tavern. He's down in this place called the Bath Chowder.
Okay, so I will go back and meet with the rest of the group.
Okay, and definitely there are more people moving around, eyeing you guys now more suspiciously.
And say that. So we've got two things here. We can go have a chat with Sazik and find out why he wants this boat, or what he knows about this boat. Or we could go and talk to the orc pirate and find out see if we can find out what she knows and why she stole what items she stole and who hired her and that sort of thing. I'm guessing Sazik's probably safer, at least, but I don't think either of them really know what we look like or anything about us yet.
But I think it'd be best to, if we're going to engage her on the vessel, and approach Sazik. Here, approaching Sazik, we can only do that here, and we have
That is correct.
a limited time. Where the other, I think, we have a lot less collateral interference if we approach her on her vessel.
Sure. I will point out that on her vessel, she probably has a 60, 70-man crew on the vessel.
Oh, that.
Oh.
That's an actual ship.
Sazik shouldn't take very long, though. I mean, we could still.
Okay.
It's 4:00 in the morning. Go to him, talk to him for bed,
and then go after her. Okay.
All right, so we'll go talk to Sazik first.
You guys will make your way down to the Bath Chowder. There's a horrible image there of a guy in a big chunky bath with fish heads, and you will head in, and it's a horrible, awful tavern. It smells in here just of vinegar and bad ale and dirt. People are drunk, and there's sort of the smell of vomit and stuff. And you will see that there is a guy sitting there who seems to be flipping a knife. There's some other people around, and he'll kind of look up at you. See, he has one eye that is milky white. Kind of looks up expectantly, and when he sees you guys come in, when you come in, he will make a gesture, and very quickly, Scott, he will make the sign of the Prince of Shadows.
Okay. I'll uh, uh, subtly acknowledge it and uh, 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 and uh, make a sign to my companions that there's no immediate danger, and uh, I'll go over and take a seat at
Okay.
the table.
He looks at you. He looks at. Yes. If your friends could wait back a little bit while you and I have a brief chat, is that all right?
Certainly. Uh, they cover the exits and keep an eye on the situation.
And do you guys do that?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. So he looks at you. Sasek does. He goes, brother. Um, uh, uh, all that you take is recorded in the Great Book of the Prince.
So that's how you knew that I'd be coming here.
I did not know if you'd be coming here, but he sent several out in hopes that he might cross your path. Um, you have an opportunity ahead of you.
Really?
Yes.
What kind of opportunity is that?
Uh,
I'm always interested in profitable opportunities.
you did a service for a wizard by the name of Palak, correct? Helped protect his tower.
Yes. It was